Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to my 10th stream now, stream number 10 already. Time does go by very fast. Could you give me a quick, it's working in the chat to let me know today it is working? And I see lots of familiar names in the chat, that's awesome. And a few new people, Michaeli, first time in the channel. Welcome to the chat. Good, Gertie, it must be working. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Familia from Brazil. Amazing. Yes, gamer, of course. I remember, definitely. Hi, Pillar. Shamal from Kurdistan. Welcome, Shamal. It works. Thank you, Lolly. Thank you. Jamerson, first time here. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Milad from Egypt. Hello, Neville from Haiti. Amazing. Ricardo, hello. Iraselmo from Angola. Welcome. Everyone is here. That's awesome. Happy to have you here. Like I said, this is stream number 10 for me. And I'm looking forward to spending the next hour with you guys. Today, we are going to be going over modals of necessity, okay? So I'm going to change over my screen. Here we go. There, perfect. Osama from Egypt, first time, welcome, welcome. So as always, feel free to be very active in the chat. Hello, Eliza from Spain. I'm doing well. Thank you, Shamal. Yeah, I'm having a great day. It's pretty okay weather, not raining, so that's nice. But it's been raining quite a bit lately in Vancouver, so it doesn't quite feel like summer yet. Yeah. So Oliveira, I'm thinking that's your name and not Familia, but nice to meet you. Oh, Marcos. Good, good. Nice to meet you, Marcos. Welcome. So when you are participating in the chat, I will do my best to acknowledge all of your comments and answer your questions if you have any. Feel free to ask your questions. But we're going to get started. So as you can see, I have my Smrt page open here. Is it big enough for you guys? Maybe I can make it one bigger. Let me try. There. Maybe that's better. So Gamer, today I'm going to be talking about modals of necessity particularly. We're going to be talking about what is necessary in certain situations and how to express that. Also lack of necessity. And also understanding the difference between lack of necessity and prohibition, okay? And yes, Neville, the documents are always posted to the chat at the end of the lesson, okay? So you can find them there. Okay, so let me see. Okay, good. Let's begin. I'm going to get started. So, necessity, basically talking about what you have to do, what you don't have to do, what you must do, or what you mustn't do, which is prohibition. We're going to talk about the different ways. Let's take a look. First sentence. As you know, when you go to the library, you borrow a book, there comes a date where you need to return the book, okay? So we often use expressions like have got to, okay? As you can see here, I've got to return these books to the library. This means that it is necessary to do that before the due date, right? Have to and must, not must to do, just must. Iraselmo, good job. Okay. So just a little recap on modal verbs, okay? So these are a type of auxiliary verb. They are a helping verb in a sentence, and they have special meaning, okay? And we use them for different things. For example, can, we could talk about ability with can, okay? Could, we ask questions with could, okay? And it could also be about ability. Would, we can use it for many things. We can use it for the second conditional and also for requests, okay? Should, we can use for advice, okay, and suggestions. Will, we can use for requests. We could also use it for the future tense, okay? May and might, these are both used for uncertainty when you're not so sure about something. Also could be used for requests, okay, especially may, a very polite request. May I come to your party, for example. Must is a stronger modal, and in a positive way, it is to talk about what must happen, like really strong necessity. In the negative way, it is to talk about what is not okay, what is bad behavior. Ought to is the same as should, where we use it for advice, obligations, but it's a little bit outdated in my opinion. It's a little bit old school, however, you can use it if you want to. It is the only modal verb that is followed by to, okay? And shall is used for suggestions, okay, like what shall we do today in question form. And yeah, so many modals used for different things. Advice, suggestions, obligation, necessity, permission, requests, okay, so many different things. Let me see the chat. Lolly asks, if I say I have to return these books, that is definitely the same, yes. If, let's say, your book is overdue, that means that you are being charged each day. Perhaps then you would change to saying must. I must return these books because it's a little bit more urgent since you are being fined each day. Yeah. Good evening, Pepe. Welcome. Okay. So a few grammar reminders with modals. These are some things you should always remember to improve your writing. They do not use an S for he, she, it. Okay, so even if your subject is he, it should always be can. Okay, never add an S. Even if your subject is she or it. Okay, the book should be good. We would not add an S on should. Okay, so never an S after he, she, it on a modal verb. Please keep in mind that modal verbs can create questions, okay? So we simply do inversion where the modal verb will go at the beginning, okay? In this case, she can go, okay? Like she has permission to go. We can make it a question. Can she go? So asking a yes or no question. If your question starts with a modal verb, it is considered a yes or no question because the answer will be yes or no. Vladimir, my birthday party was really great. Thank you. We went camping. It was raining the whole weekend, but I still had a blast. I had a really good time. And the sun did come out for a few hours. So thank you for asking. Yeah, it was great. I see a question. Irasalmo, if I say I must do something about it, is it right when we don't know anything about it? So you can say I must do something about it, but never have to after must, okay? You need to delete to because after must, it's always a base verb, which brings me to this point, okay? Modal verbs are always followed by a base verb, okay? The only exception is ought to. That is the only time when you will see ought to, and then the base verb. Okay? So yes, Iraselmo, you can definitely say, I must do something about it. This would be a modal of obligation and necessity, a very strong situation. For example, if you know that a friend of yours is maybe having a problem, and you say, I must do something about it. Like, it's a serious problem maybe, so must would be a good modal to use if that's the case, okay? Batuhan, thank you. Nayarana, let's see, can we use for present perfect to express reason? For instance, I have been studying for my exam. Definitely. Yes, that's a good sentence. Definitely. It's giving more information. You can say I've been studying. If you add the prepositional phrase for my exam, it's more information. It's a good sentence. Yeah. Hello, Abduralso Mohammed from Sudan. Welcome. Good. Okay, so let's take a look here. He must goes? No. He must going? Never. He must to go? No. Okay, so just remember, always base verb after modal. If you remember this rule, you can improve your writing, okay? The next is a little review video. We're not going to watch that right now, but okay. I'm doing well, Mohammed. Thank you for asking. Hi, Valeria. Hello, welcome. Okay, so these modal verbs, going back up. These are official modal verbs, okay? The official modal verbs. But we also use other expressions that are used like in a similar way to modal verbs, okay? So be able to, about ability. I am able to go to the party. Or I could say, I can go to the party, okay? Be allowed to, for permission. The little girl is allowed to eat candy. Or I can say, the little girl can eat candy. Be going to, for future. We can also use will, okay? Like for predictions. It is going to be a nice weekend. Or it will be a nice weekend. Be supposed to is, again, for like obligation, necessity. Usually it's something like that's not super urgent or serious. For example, I am supposed to do my laundry tonight. If I don't do my laundry, it's not a big deal, okay? So I could also say, I should do my laundry tonight, okay? Have got to and have to. We are going to talk about today. These could be used for obligation or necessity, okay? Had better is strong advice, okay? And we'll be talking about that next week, different types of modals. Batuhan, good question. That's funny. It's a hard question. Yeah. Good. So, expressing necessity. Osama. So, Osama, for he, she, it, you do use an S on a main verb, but if there's a modal verb, you do not. Okay? There's no need for he, she, it on a modal verb. Only if it's a different verb. For example, she works at the bakery. But if we have a modal, she can work at the bakery. No S on can. Okay. I don't have the ability to meet my girlfriend today. Abdallah, you have to add the. That's a good sentence. I don't have the ability to meet my girlfriend today. If you're going to use a modal verb, you would say, I can't. I can't meet my girlfriend today. Okay, so when we are talking about what we need to do, okay, what is necessary, we use verbs like must or expressions have to, have got to. Okay, this is to say something is necessary. We can be speaking generally or about specific situations. Okay? So, first, children must do their homework. This is a general statement about what is necessary for children. Okay? We could also say children have to do their homework, or we can say children have got to do their homework. Okay? Doesn't matter which way you say it. Have to might be the most commonly used expression, but this is all, it all depends on context and also personal choice. Okay? One person may want to say must, another person may choose have to, another person might choose have got to. Okay, so it's really dependent on person and context and situation. And yes, Gertie, the meaning of all three sentences is the same. If you use must, it does sound a little bit stronger, I would say. There is a difference in form. Okay, so when you are writing or speaking, you have to be careful of the difference of form. Let's take a look at these examples. So we have a positive sentence, okay, here, a negative sentence, and question form. Let's take a look at the difference. He must go to work. He has to go to work. He has got to go to work. Okay, so remember, he must, no S. However, he with has to, you do need to change the verb from have to has. Okay, because he, she, it takes has. All right, same thing with has got to. Okay, negative, he mustn't, must not work. Okay, so negative sentence, this is not about necessity, it's about prohibition, not allowed. Okay, so perhaps this person is sick, maybe they need to take a break. So he mustn't work. We often contract must not to mustn't. If we want to use have to, this is lack of necessity, you need to add the auxiliary verb doesn't, okay, to make the sentence negative. He doesn't have to work. And here, difference in form again, he hasn't got to work, okay? So just be careful. You need doesn't if it's negative with have to, but if it's negative with has got to, you simply make has negative, okay? He has not got to work, often contracted. And finally, question form. As you can see, there's a star on Smrt here because question form with must is not so common, okay? Most people wouldn't use it for a question form. It does sound very kind of medieval times kind of thing, olden days language, but some people I'm sure do use it, right? So must he work? Inversion. The more common question would be to add does for the question. Does he have to work? Or if it's question with have got to, you have to use has as your question word. Has he got to work? Okay. Let me see. Pays says we must have to eat all days. This sentence is not correct, but close to correct. you simply need to delete have to and say, we must eat every day. Okay, we must eat every day. This would be a good sentence for necessity. We must eat every day. Jose, I must go to work. I must go to work tomorrow in the morning. Good. Yeah. Gertie, they work as modals, but they are not modals. Exactly. Yeah. Have to, have got to are not technically part of the modal family, but they often work like modals, the same as modals. Abdallah, relocation means when you change your location, okay? Especially with businesses. So if you have, for example, a pizza shop at the same location, you always go to the pizza shop, but one day the pizza shop is closed, and there is a sign on the door and it says, we have relocated to Main Street. So this means that they have a new store in another location. Okay. Let's see, Batuhan's asking, in negative and question situations, we always use have for every subject. No. If it's he, she, it. Oh, wait, sorry. Yes, you are totally correct, Batuhan. After a question auxiliary or after a negative auxiliary, yes, the verb is back to the base form. That's a great question, and you're correct. Yeah. So Nguyen says, I must finish my work before the deadline. Great sentence. Yeah. Yeah, relocate. Same thing, Batuhan. No dash is necessary. Lolly, I must listen to Julia if I want to improve my English. Yeah, good sentence. I am trying to help you for sure. Jacqueline, hello. We must study English all day in order to enhance. Yes, enhance is a transitive verb, so you should add the object. For example, we must study English all day in order to enhance our skills. Okay. You're welcome, Abdallah. Yeah. Irasalmo, I must study to get a good job. Good sentence. Yeah. My name is Julia. Sorry, maybe I didn't introduce myself. I'm so used to having the same students now, but yes, my name is Julia. Sorry about that. Have to or have got to? Yes, Valeria. Those are the same. It's your choice what you want to use. Yeah. Yes, Batuhan, for sure. You should take advantage of all of the streamers, definitely. We can all give you some advice and some tips. Yeah. Jose, I must be an English teacher in my future. Good. I mean, this sentence you might want to change must to I want to be, or you could use must. It's not wrong. It's just very strong. Salma, you must remove your glasses while driving in a tunnel. Good job. Yeah. Pillar, I must think before I speak. That's usually what we say. Talk is fine, but the expression is usually I must think before I speak. Yeah. Hello. Okay. We have a second example of the form, but I'm going to cruise through because we have lots more to do. One note for pronunciation, when native speakers are speaking quickly, we don't really hear have to or have got to. A lot of people really shorten it down to have to. I have to go. Oh no, it's 5 o'clock, I have to go. Or, oh no, it's 5 o'clock, I gotta go. Okay, so if you're not sure when you hear gotta, it's have got to, just really mushed down together. Let's see here. Kedar, why English must be required to get a good job? You're having a hard time finding a job? I don't know. I mean, I wish I could answer that question. It's a good question. I have no idea why English was the chosen universal language, one of them. I'm not sure. It's a great question. Vladimir, yes, we will talk about that. I'm going to get there really soon. Okay, so another note, have to, have got to, and must, they all express that something is necessary. However, must is usually reserved for really serious, like urgent situations. If it's an everyday situation, usually native speakers simply say have to or gotta, have gotta. Yeah. Jamerson, I must see the map before to go on a new trip. Yes, good. Again, must is kind of strong in that case, but like I said, it's individual choice. You could also say, I have to look at the map before I go on a new trip. Okay. Gertie, good sentence. I gotta go right now. I hope that's not true, but yeah, good sentence. And Batuhan, yeah. And Canada. Don't forget Canada is a big country too. Yeah. But that's a good reason, perhaps just the sheer size. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So I have to go home. Like, imagine if you're hanging out with some friends at your friend's house. If you say, I must go home, it sounds a little bit strange. Your friends might laugh at you because the more common would just be, I have to go home. I have to go home to feed my dog, for example. Or I've got to go home to feed my dog. Yeah. Yes, Zuhair, exactly. Most is used for strong obligation. Definitely, definitely. And Nairana, you're asking? Yes, definitely. You can use while to talk about two things happening at the same time. That's a good question. Is it safe to wear earplugs while sleeping? Definitely. And Shul, I was flexing on the axe. I'm not sure what that sentence is. Maybe could you try explaining that question? Yuraselmo, I must visit this country because I love Canada so much. Yeah, for sure, you must come visit. Definitely. Osama, good sentence. However, don't forget got. I've got to study before work. Alteb, I have to do my work first, and then I will look at other things. Yeah. I'm sorry, Anshul, I'm not quite sure about that. Yeah. Gertie, I must be in my work. You probably mean I must go to work. I must go to work. So let's continue here. Now, talking about past, if you want to talk about necessity in the past, you know, like maybe you're answering a question in the past. Why did you leave the party so early? You need to use had to. That's the only option. Okay, we do not use must in the past. We do not use have got to in the past. We only use have to in the past by saying had to. Okay? I had to feed my dogs, for example. Okay, so past only had to. If you're going to talk about future, you would just say I will have to. Okay? I will have to. Or be going to. I'm going to have to. But that's a little bit, I mean, it's better to just say will have to, okay? All right, guys, let's get some examples on your document so that you can look back on your document. Okay, so some lecture notes, right? So just to repeat, to say something is necessary, we have must, strong, have to, has to, have got to, has got to. If we're talking past, had to. Of course, there are the negative forms and the question forms as well. So let's do talking about necessity in different situations. As you can see, there is a list here, and I want you guys to give me some examples of whatever you think, what is necessary in these situations. Okay? Thank you, Nian. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad they're informative. So, at the bank, you can use a variety of modals or expressions. But what is necessary at the bank? Pillar, I must go to the bank to pay my bills. Good. Perfect. That's a good sentence. And Batuhan, I must get in line at the bank. Good, good. If we want to speak more generally, we could say people have to wait in line when they go to the bank. Okay, that's necessary. When you go to the bank, you have to wait in line usually. Yeah. Let's see here. Valeria, in the bank, we mustn't use the phone. So, good. This is an example of prohibition, right? So, usually we would put the prepositional phrase at the end, like, we mustn't use phones, no the, just phones, in the bank. Lane, I have to keep Matt the bank. I'm not sure what MAT is. Maybe you can explain that sentence a bit more. Maybe I have to keep my money at the bank, is what you mean. Muez, I have to deposit before the check coming. Yeah, deposit, you should include the object money. I have to deposit money before the check comes. Johnny, I must get to the bank early. Good job, good job. There is a good one. Keter, I must have an ID with my all time and my card. So maybe you mean I must have my ID okay, with me to get my bank card, to get a bank card. Perhaps that's more what you mean. But I do see another good sentence. Vladimir, you have to have your ID at the bank. Exactly. You have to have your bank card for sure. Yeah. I have to go to the bank to get money. Osama, good sentence. Gertie, I have to get some money at the ATM in the bank. Don't forget the ATM. Lolly, I have to go to the bank to withdraw some money. Good job. Good job. Naira, in past, I had to go to the bank so that, okay, so let me put your sentence here. I had to go to the bank because of that, I left the office early. We could just say, I left the office early. And this comma, it's not actually necessary. I had to go to the bank. Because of that, I left the office early. Really, this sentence sounds a little bit more natural if you say, I left work early because I had to go to the bank. Okay, let's move on. At school, let's get some sentences. What is necessary at school? Let's try to speak generally. At school, what's necessary? And Lane, good sentence. I have to keep my money safe at the bank. Good. Jacqueline, she must take medicine for high blood pressure. Good. I have to block my credit card. Lane, good. Too much shopping, perhaps. Yeah. Neville, we must fill out our checks at the bank before submitting. Okay, I must be on time for school, we would say. Good. Yeah, that's necessary. Definitely necessary to be on time. Zuhair, I must have my glasses with me at school. Good job. Yeah. Valeria, we have to wear, we would say. We have to wear a uniform at, we could even add our school. Good, good. Kadar, you must have a pencil. You must have a pencil and notebook, we could say, all time. So we could say at all times, at all times. So a lot of people are always using must. Remember, must is strong, so keep that in mind. It might be a good habit to try and use must less than you use have to or have got to. Since I'm looking at the time, we should go to the next example here. At the gym. What is necessary at the gym? When your children are about 6 years old, they are supposed to go to school. Exactly. I have to take a bus from school. Good. So you have to take a bus to get to school as well. So Shamal, just trying to, shall is not, in this case you're asking about, asking for advice using shall, but we don't want to use shall to talk about necessity. So at the gym, for example, people, if we're speaking generally, people have to wear workout clothes, or this can be one word. You have to wear good shoes, for example. Osama, talking about your necessity. That's more, yeah, more kind of on the obligation side. I have to go to the gym today. I have to take a shower after going to the gym. Good. Oops. I have to go to the gym to do some cardio. I have to sweat at the gym if I want to lose weight. Good job, Lolly. So Michaeli, that's good. Just one note with gotta. Gotta, G-O-T-T-A, it's okay to use that with text messaging, you know, very informal writing. However, if you are ever writing like a work email or a school assignment, you should definitely type have got to, because gotta is not proper writing. It's more so a speaking thing, but we do say it for texting with friends and that kind of thing. But that's a great sentence. I gotta go to the gym because I've been a bit lazy these days or lately. Good. Yeah. Novelle, we must always do our homework, no S, and study our lessons. Good. Gertie, my daughter has to wear a new sports pants to do a new sport. Good. So we wouldn't say a new sport pants because it's plural, but just new sports pants. Okay. So let's do, we're going to actually take these ones out just for time-wise, but we'll get some more examples with this. What is necessary when, oh, sorry guys, I dropped my mic. Here we go. What is necessary when planning a vacation? What do you have to do? Let me get my mic back on. Oh my gosh, sorry, this mic is broken and it doesn't have a clippy right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. That should be good. Can you hear me? Vladimir, you should not wear your new tuxedo at the gym. Yes, that's true. That's more of advice, though, not necessity. Okay. So when planning a vacation, you have to do your research, right? You have to do your research. You have got to make sure your passport is valid, right? That's definitely important. Nayarana, I have to take all medical safety pack. Yep, so you can say I have to take my medical safety pack. Good. Yeah. Yeah, Milan, I have to reserve a hotel. That's good. Jacqueline, you have to have money when you are planning a vacation. Definitely money helps. Definitely must have money if you want to go on vacation. Michaela, I have to save money to travel on vacation, for sure. Yeah. You have to book tickets, definitely. It's going to be a long walk if you don't have tickets. Okay. We're going to move into the next topic here. I'm back to Smrt. All right, guys, let's talk about two more things, lack of necessity and prohibition. So, lack of necessity to mean that something is not necessary, okay? You can do it, but you don't have to do it. It's not bad behavior, it's not prohibited, but it's just not necessary, okay? If you are talking about the past, it's the same thing. You need to use didn't have to, did not have to, all right? Notice when we're talking about lack of necessity, we do not use must not, because that is a totally different meaning, okay? Let's look at our Smrt examples. The concert is free, okay? So you don't have to pay to enter. Not necessary. The concert is free. You don't have to bring your wallet, for example. Or the concert is all ages. You don't have to bring your ID. Next sentence. I don't have school tomorrow. Okay. I don't have to go to bed early tonight. I don't have to wake up early, so I don't have to go to bed early. Okay. Party all night. Next sentence. We haven't got to hurry. There is lots of time. Okay. So if you are maybe going to the airport, if you are running late, of course you would say, oh my gosh, we have to hurry. We must hurry. But if you have lots of time, you don't have to hurry. It's not necessary. You can take your time and relax. Here we have past examples. Last night, so we're talking in the past. Last night, I didn't have to make dinner because my mother took me out. Okay? Wasn't necessary to make dinner. Jane didn't have to do any homework because she had finished everything during class. That's great. Okay. Just a note that sometimes when we're talking about necessity, especially lack of necessity, we simply say It's not necessary. Okay, we just state that. It's not necessary. Maybe we say both. For example, if my friend comes over to my house in the summertime, sunny day, and she's wearing flip-flops, sandals, and she starts to take them off, and I say, no, you don't have to take your shoes off. It's okay. It's not necessary. Okay, your shoes are dry. They are clean. You don't have to take them off. You can leave them on. Okay. Let's see. So Nayarana, need to, I mean, this is, again, it's not a modal, but yes, it would definitely fall under necessity or obligation. These two are very similar. Yeah. Okay, let's get some of our own examples. On the document, to say something is not necessary, so lack of necessity. Remember, lack means without, so there's no necessity. We use don't have to, doesn't have to, hasn't got to, haven't got to. If it's past, there's only one option, didn't have to. Okay, so lack of necessity in different situations. Batuhan, I'm seeing a good example. Speaker A, I got you a present. Speaker B, you didn't have to do that. Very common reaction when somebody gives you a gift, for sure. Usually we say that instead of this. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Yeah. So Neville, English is taught online, so we don't have to go to school for it. That's true. Many online resources for English. Mm-hmm. Oh, Irasalmo, you must go to sleep, or you must sleep. That's good. It's very late. Well, nice to see you in the chat. I hope you have a good sleep. See you next week, I hope. Peace. Okay, let's see here. So, first person here, to be a good friend. So imagine being a good friend. What is not necessary in order to be a good friend? Lolly, that's a good sentence. Yesterday I didn't have to work. I took a day off. That's awesome. Zuhair, I don't have to take my car because the company gave me a car. That's really nice. Yeah. But let's talk about being a good friend. What is not necessary to be a good friend? For example, my friends don't have to do my housework for me. They don't have to do my housework for me. They are still going to be a good friend. Okay. Can you guys think of something? Don't have to be reached. Maybe you mean my friends don't have to be reachable at all. My friends don't have to be reachable at all times. Yeah, I mean, you know, people are busy, people have their own lives, so in order to be a good friend, you don't have to be reachable 24/7, right? Maybe that's what you mean. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. I don't have to talk loudly. Yeah, so right now we're my friends don't have to be perfect people. Johnny, good sentence. My friends don't have to be perfect people. Definitely. They can still be a good friend if they're not a perfect person. Michaeli, my friends don't have to answer all my messages on social media to be a good friend. That's awesome. I agree. Pillar, you don't have to be in touch every day to be a good friend. That's a good sentence, for sure. Good, good. Maybe one more. My friends don't have to lend me their clothes in order to be a good friend. Yeah. They don't have to lend me their clothes if they don't want to. It's okay. Okay. While traveling within your country. What is not necessary if you are traveling within your country? So Pays, you probably would say my friends mustn't be crazy. Because if you say don't have to be crazy, that means that they can be crazy, right? So maybe more of a mustn't. Gertie, my friends don't have to be with me all the time. Lolly, my friends don't have to take their shoes off at home. Exactly. Within, this means inside your own country. So not crossing any borders. You are not crossing any borders. So what is not necessary if you are not crossing any borders? While traveling within your own country, you haven't got to, in Canada anyways, you haven't got to carry your passport. Okay. Jamerson, yeah, the way you said it, you don't have to have. Okay, have is your main verb, so you do need to repeat it. Oops, I repeated it too much. You don't have to have a passport. Okay. Gertie, we don't have to have a passport while traveling in our country. Good, okay, so that was the main one I wanted people to talk about, so I'm just going to underline that there. I just want to keep my document the same. Okay, so to keep a cactus alive. To keep a cactus alive, everybody. What is not necessary to keep a cactus alive? There we go, Lolly. That's the one I was looking for. You don't have to you don't have to water a cactus to keep it alive. That's why I like these plants. We could also say you don't have to pay much attention to a cactus to keep it alive. Good. And next one, to play floor hockey. What is not necessary? Hey, Larissa. I had a Larissa in my class recently. I wonder if it's the same person. I don't know. Badar, hello. Yes, we still have a few more minutes though. So to play floor hockey, what is not necessary to play floor hockey? Oh, no way. Larissa that I saw at the gym all the time? Okay, so Osama, cactus is plant. And I'll just show you a picture because that's easiest. There. I love cactuses. They're very nice looking. So floor hockey, sorry, this is a very Canadian example. You don't have to wear, or you don't have to have ice skates, basically. You don't have to have ice skates, yeah. You don't have to have all of the same equipment as in ice hockey, okay, because there is no ice. Floor hockey is simply on cement, Okay, I'll show you. Instead of on ice, the traditional. See? So as you can see, many people, they don't actually wear a lot of the same equipment. Okay. Oh, the graphic designer. Oh, wow. Really long ago. Nice to see you in the chat. I can picture your face. Hello. Okay, so that's awesome that you're here, Larissa. Okay, one more thing to talk about, and I'm going to go back to Smrt. Okay, prohibition. So when we use must in a negative way, it has a very different meaning than saying you don't have to do something, okay? You mustn't do something is more of like a rule. It's bad behavior. You can't do it. So it's a really different meaning. In all of these examples, we would never use mustn't because we're not talking about prohibition. We're talking about lack of necessity. Okay. So let's look at some examples. Yeah, forbidden. Exactly. And yes, Gertie, most common plants in desert areas, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's see here. You mustn't eat in Mr. James's class. Okay, so this means Mr. James has a rule that no eating in his class. Okay. Next, you mustn't drink alcohol with this medicine. So very bad idea. It could be dangerous, so definitely mustn't is the appropriate modal. Okay. Zuhair, we must not smoke in public places. Exactly. You mustn't start without me. Okay, so this would be just like a strong kind of a bit of a warning, like you can't start without me. Let's look at the difference between must not and don't have to. If I say you mustn't leave, this is like a strong statement, like you're not allowed to leave. You mustn't leave, okay? Whereas you don't have to leave, it's very casual, and basically it means like you can leave if you want to, but you don't have to. Like, I'm not making you. You can stay as well, okay? It's the kind of, when you have, for example, if you have friends at your house and maybe it's getting late and your friends, they say, oh, okay, I guess we should leave. It's getting late. And you say, well, you don't have to leave. Okay? You can stay longer if you want. Nayarana, you'll have to give me an example. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Okay. Salma, you mustn't take this medicine while driving. Exactly. So back to my Google Docs. To say something is prohibited or generally bad behavior, must not, but we often just say mustn't, contracted. Okay, so let's come up with some examples. Situations where something might be prohibited. Okay, so if we're talking about doctors, what's prohibited for a doctor? What's a bad behavior for a doctor? Okay, we'll speak generally, so I'll put my S on the noun. Doctors mustn't. Here are some good examples, guys. Yeah, you mustn't smoke in the cinema. You mustn't forget to take the rubbish out. Good. You must not sunbathe at this hour. Good. Gertie, you mustn't go out during the storm. Good. So Badar, doctors mustn't date their patients. Yeah, I believe that's definitely against protocol. But maybe shouldn't, you're right, shouldn't might be stronger. I don't know the laws against that, but I think it's probably not something that doctors often do anyways. Doctors mustn't Mustn't smoke. They can if they want to, but they mustn't smoke inside their offices. Definitely not. Definitely, Vladimir. Doctors mustn't wear dirty gloves. Definitely, definitely. Okay, let's go to parents. I'm not a parent yet, but I'm sure some of you guys are. So parents, what mustn't parents do? We're speaking generally. Parents must not. So Osama, you might mean you mustn't go to the doctor in an emergency situation. Yeah, you must go to the hospital. Doctors need to watch The Good Doctor. All right, parents. Parents must not, definitely, but must not beat their child. That's for sure. Parents must not leave their kids alone. Definitely. Doctors mustn't delay the patient's diagnosis. Definitely. Good sentence. Parents must not use swear words, Vladimir. Good, yeah. Salma, parents mustn't scold their kids. Good. Scold, if you're not sure. Scold means punish, kind of. And remember, these is all opinions, so one person might agree, one person might disagree. So, Lane, good sentence. Parents must not be a bad example. Yeah, we usually say set a bad example. And we could add for their children. Yeah, parents mustn't set a bad example for their children. Be a bad example is also correct. Yeah. Parents must not speak with hurtful words. Yeah, we could say parents mustn't use hurtful words. Good. Ahmed, thank you. And Michaela, again, parents must not be bad examples for their children or set a bad example. Parents mustn't smoke in front of their children. Good. Parents must not allow children to walk alone on the street. Good. Good. Parents mustn't fight with each other. That's good. Yeah, parents mustn't. Just be careful, if you have mustn't, you wouldn't have not, because mustn't is contracted. Fight with each other. 2 words. Okay, I have some great examples. Parents mustn't cuss. Yeah, cuss is saying bad words. Okay, next. On an airplane. What mustn't you do on an airplane? Lane, good. Parents must not be permissive with their children. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you could add the word too. Parents must not be too permissive with their children. On an airplane, we can use the subject you for everybody. You must not, obviously, smoke on an airplane. Parents must kiss each other. Yeah, parents must show each other affection. Yeah. Gertie, you mustn't smoke in an airplane because we're not being specific. Yeah. Good, Lane. You mustn't use a cell phone. Yep. Mm-hmm. On an airplane, you mustn't walk on the takeoff. Yes, so I guess, Ahmed, not on an airplane, but in an airport, right? You mustn't walk on the takeoff area, definitely. Badar, on an airplane, phones must be halted, or halted is not the best verb. Probably must be turned on airplane mode. You mustn't drink too much alcohol. Good job, good job. Yes, you don't want people being sick on the airplane. Okay, last one, during an exam. What is prohibited or bad behavior? Definitely piss. You mustn't bring any kind of weapon on the airplane. You must not, Osama, you must not take a heavy bag. I'm seeing good examples. Sama, you must not sit without your seat belt while takeoff and landing. Yeah. Good, Batuhan. You must not cheat during the exam. Yeah, for sure. Hi, Carlos. You mustn't talk with other students. Definitely. Yeah, you mustn't be disruptive during an exam. Yeah, disruptive just means bothering other students, maybe being too loud or something like that. Yeah, using your mobile phone. You mustn't use your mobile phone during an exam. Yeah. You must not ask for the answers. So yeah, you can say you must not ask the teacher or your classmates for the answers. Definitely. Pays, you mustn't sleep during the exam. Yeah. You mustn't leave the classroom early, Batuhan. Yeah. You don't have to means that you can, but you don't have to. So it would be more of a must. You mustn't lose your focus. Yes. You mustn't open your notebook during an exam. Yes. You mustn't daydream. Yeah. You mustn't eat or drink. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm in Vancouver at the CCEL, so if you want to come study here, you can meet me in person. All right. Well, we have come to the end of our lesson today. So I'm going to put it back to the top. I hope you found this lesson useful. I hope you practice this grammar point in your everyday life. But yes, so see you next Tuesday. I'll be back here next Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, as always. And the next point we're going to be getting into is modals about advice and suggestions. Okay, so more modal discussion, however, moving into a different type of language point. Okay, so thanks. I hope you guys have a great day or a great night or a great morning, and have a great week. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, before I go, I will put the document in the chat, okay? So you guys can have that for your files. All right? Okay, bye, everyone.